And to be quite honest with you guys, when I first graduated from hair school, I used to tell my clients that in order for their hair to grow, they have to trim their ends. And that was not the truth. What's up, my shady bells? It's your favorite here, Dr. Tish, and welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Yes, guys, welcome back to my channel. So guys, on today's video, I'm going to be answering a few questions that I know some people have when it comes to growing their hair, how your hair grows, and different things like that. But before we get into the video all the way, make sure you do me a favor and you hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell next to it, comment, share, and thumbs up this video. You guys don't understand how important it is to thumbs up videos on YouTube. If you don't know, let me tell you how important it is. The reason why we ask for a thumbs up on our videos is because the YouTube algorithm really like when videos are thumbs up, because guess what? That's going to make them share the video out to other people outside of our regular subscribers and supporters. So take the time right now to thumbs up this video. It doesn't cost you a thing but a couple of seconds, and maybe not even a couple of seconds, and thumbs up this video. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, so I was watching a video that Adrienne did. I don't remember when she did this video, but in this video she happened to be talking about the fact that her new hairdresser told her that trimming her hair is going to make her hair grow. Now, this topic right here is an ongoing topic in the hair community, or the natural hair community, whatever. I just said hair community because I feel like it's a topic overall, whether your hair is natural or if it's chemically processed. This is a topic. And to be quite honest with you guys, when I first graduated from hair school, I used to tell my clients that in order for their hair to grow, they have to trim their ends. And that was not the truth. And here I was, a whole licensed cosmetologist, giving out false information to my clients. So the question is, does trimming your hair make it grow? The answer is no. Let me tell you why. First of all, your hair does not grow from the ends. Your hair grows from the root, right? So when you trim the ends of your hair, right? Let's say this is a strand of hair that I'm going to trim. I'm going to cut that piece of hair off on the ends of my hair. How does that equate to your hair growing? Okay, now let me tell you what it does do for your hair. When you trim your ends, what happens is, number one, the hair is going to be shorter because you're cutting a little bit of your hair off, so naturally it's going to be shorter. Number two, if you have split ends, it's going to repair the split ends. Number three, it's going to make your hair look better. It's going to make it look healthier. If you are a person that likes to wear silk presses or just wear your hair loose in styles where you want like a free flowing type of look, it's going to look beautiful. So trimming your ends essentially is for either A, beautifying your hair, or B, preventing split ends to keep traveling up the hair shaft. Because if you have split ends, let's say you have split ends and you don't trim your hair, those split ends are just going to keep splitting and it's going to keep traveling up the hair shaft, and then the hair will start to break. It will cause your hair to be broken. So that's one way that breakage can happen. And in another video, I'll go over the different reasons or ways that hair can break. But not trimming your split ends can definitely cause breakage in your hair, or your hair to be short looking as opposed to having a long strand of hair. Okay, let's talk about what actually makes your hair grow. Okay, we get into what actually makes your hair grow. I want to show you guys this picture of a hair follicle that I drew, and it's not the best drawing, but I think I got the picture. I think that what I'm going to explain to you is going to come across in this picture that I'm getting ready to show you. All right, so in our hair, underneath our scalp, we have what you call a hair follicle, right? The hair follicle is shaped like an angular pocket inside of our scalp, underneath our scalp. So this part of the hair follicle, this on this picture right here, the hair follicle is actually this area right here. This is your hair follicle. This round or angular shaped thing right here is the hair follicle, right? Now, beneath the hair follicle, in this area right here, this is called the dermal papilla. Now, the dermal papilla is responsible for supplying our hair with the blood supply, oxygen, and nourishment. So, with that being said, a healthy diet, including your green leafy vegetables, vitamins, drinking plenty of water, all those things, a nutritional diet, those are the things that help your hair grow. Dermal papilla, which is located right beneath the hair follicle, if that is not being supplied with the nutrients, the blood supply, and the oxygen that it needs, then your hair can't grow. Once your hair follicle is damaged, that is what is going to cause your hair to not grow and to not flourish. Okay, so just to give you some more insight on the rest of this hair structure, this is the structure of hair. Okay, right here, this is the structure of hair. So you have your angular pocket-like shaped hair follicle, that's right here, right? You have the dermal papilla, which is responsible for supplying the hair with the blood that it needs and the nourishment that it needs, right? And then right underneath the dermal papilla, you have your blood vessels. There are blood vessels underneath the dermal papilla, right? So the blood vessels, they're supplying the dermal papilla with the blood that it needs, right? It's also it's supplying the dermal papilla with the blood that it needs. It also supplies it with the nutrients and the oxygen and all those things that it takes for your hair to actually grow. Then right here on the side, right here, this is your sebaceous glands. Now the sebaceous glands is going to produce what's called sebum, which is an oil, right? So that's on the side of the hair follicle. The sebum is being distributed from here to the hair follicle, and this is your sebum. And what happens is that sebum is going to travel up the hair shaft. All this right here, this whole black piece in the middle of this hair follicle is the actual hair that's growing, the hair that's growing. Once it grows above the skin surface, this is your skin surface, which is the scalp, then hairs are going to start coming out of your scalp, right? So these are the hairs that's coming out. This is the hair shaft. So these are the hairs that's coming out of your hair follicle, right? The other part of this is the hair root. Right here, this is your hair root. See, the hair root is right in the hair follicle. So with that being said, if you trim your ends, right? Let's say This is your hair shaft, the actual hair that's growing out of your head. And you trim your ends. How does that contribute to your hair actually growing? Think about it. It doesn't. What it does is it helps to prevent split ends, and it also beautifies the hair, make the hair look healthier, and when the hair grows, it's gonna grow healthier. But it's not actually making your hair grow. So in addition to what I just explained to you guys in terms of the dermal papilla and how it contributes to hair growth, this is the reason why it is important, as I said before, that we have a healthy diet. A multivitamin is good, or you could take vitamin A, vitamin B, and foods like fish that's high in omega fats, and nuts, whole grain foods, like all those different foods are good for hair health and making your hair grow and contributing to a healthy head of growing hair. Okay, so we talked about, does trimming make your hair grow? We talked about what actually makes your hair grow. And now let's talk about, does products clog your hair follicle? Now this was something that Adrienne said in her video too, that she got from her new hairstylist. Her new hairstylist told her that products make your hair grow, like a heavy supply of products make your hair follicles clog. It clogs your hair follicle. And honestly, I've been doing some research on that, and I've been seeing a lot of people agreeing with this. And I have a problem with that, because knowing what I know about where the hair follicle is located, which is way down beneath your scalp. The hair follicle is located all the way down here, and your actual hair is coming out of your scalp all the way up here. I personally can't see how a heavy buildup of product is going to clog the hair follicle. Now, what I will say is this. What I think, based on what I know, I think that if you put a lot of product on your scalp, which is the top layer of the skin surface, that can cause some blockage or clogging to your hair follicle, but not on your actual hair. I cannot agree with that. I cannot agree that having a heavy buildup of products on your actual hair is going to clog your hair follicle. Now, the other piece to it, do we need to have a lot of product on our actual hair? Well, if your hair is dry, then I would say it needs a lot of moisture. And that may require a lot of moisturizing creams to put on your hair. But all that waxy buildup or the waxy type of products, I wouldn't recommend that. Hair is supposed to move. It's not supposed to be stiff and wiry with products, okay? So I definitely don't suggest putting a lot of gels and waxy type of products and things like that on your actual hair, because like I said, it's going to make the hair wiry and stiff and immovable. And hair is supposed to be free flowing like mine is, okay? Ooh, got a piece of hair on my lip. Anyway, let me get into the other questions that I had on here that I want to answer. So we already went over, does products clog your hair follicle? We went over what makes your hair grow, and does trimming make your hair grow? Now let's talk about how often you should trim your ends. I would suggest that if you're wearing your hair in protective styles most of the time, you can trim your ends every season. So that means that you trim your ends, you can trim your ends 4 times a year: winter, summer, spring, and fall. That's if you're wearing your hair in protective hairstyles most of the time. Now, if you're the type that wear your hair loose most of the time, for example, silk presses, even twist outs like this, like if your hair is just going to be like loose and out, I would suggest that you trim your hair every 6 to 8 weeks. And the reason why I say that is because if your hair is going to be in a loose style, for the most part, you are most likely combing your hair, if not every day, multiple times a week. And the constant combing and tugging and pulling, the manipulation on your hair is going to cause split ends. So you want to prevent the split ends from getting worse than they are. So I would suggest that you would trim your hair every 6 to 8 weeks. Okay. Now, should you trim children's hair? That's the last question. Can you trim children's hair? Absolutely. You sure can trim children's hair just as much as you trim an adult's hair. The same thing that I explained to you about trimming your hair when you're wearing protective styles all the time versus when you're wearing your hair loose the same thing applies to children. I wouldn't suggest trimming a child's hair until they're at least 1 to 2 years old. That's when you can start trimming their hair. That's what I would suggest. The key thing to our hair growing, in addition to a healthy diet, is moisture as well, because we as African Americans or Afro Americans, just Black people in general, our hair is naturally dry, and if it's dry, it will break. If it's dry, the ends will split. So with that being said, moisture is our hair's best friend. You can even take a spray bottle and put a little water in it with a little conditioner, shake it up, and spray your hair daily if you want to keep it moisturized. Those are the things that's going to contribute to your hair growth and your hair health. This video was helpful. I hope that it was able to answer some questions that some people had. And Adrienne, if you're watching this video, I hope that it was helpful to you. The other thing that I do want to say, Adrienne, about your hair, I think it's absolutely beautiful. It looks amazing. Whoever your new stylist is, stick with her, because she clearly knows what she's doing, because your hair looks amazing. And with that being said, until next time, peace, and remember, hair is your glory. Bye.